Good day, ladies and gentlemen, or night if you're in the Western Hemisphere. The United Nations Security Council convenes a fortnight from now with just one thing on their minds: the delegate dance. The agenda is measures to dismantle international setups and networks of extremist outfits like those in Iraq and Syria to prevent global terrorism. Wow, that's a mouthful. We will now explain to you this agenda. As of today, there exist more than 100 armed organizations in the region of Iraq and Syria. But we couldn't say with certainty that the number of guns or the number of people possessing guns in this region are more than that in America. We can, however, broadly classify these organizations to be either him, not him, radical political parties, Kurdish protection parties, who are basically busy killing each other, but if you don't protect them, they will kill you. Now, unlike him, who can do this, they have certain limitations. They have to rely on many parameters for their existence. Let's take funding for instance. Even ISIS needs a master of coin. But such organizations still have massive sources of funding. The US Treasury estimated that in the previous year, ISIS had raised $20 million US. They also kidnap envoys or wealthy family members for money. Not their family members, other family members. Interestingly, they also excavated archaeological sites and sell artifacts on the black market. But the real money comes via donations and oil. It is widely believed that the largest oil corporation in the world is the US Army. But the Middle Eastern region is not far behind. Oil wells in Iraq under ISIS have a combined production of 80,000 barrels per day. ISIS also possesses about 60% of Syria's total production capacity. That is an astounding 385,000 barrels a day. Whoa, this man has competition coming.
The viewer hears the reciting of Quranic verses describing a jihad or battle for Syria's Al-Omar field. It is Syria's largest oil field and one of a handful of facilities now under the firm grip of the terrorist organization. ISIS may not operate a polished pipeline network one finds in the south around Basra. An old-fashioned truck network for this crude is active.
They use oil tank trucks instead of oil pipes. There are about 210 oil tank trucks smuggling oil to Turkey and other places every day.
According to the Iraq Energy Institute, ISIS is producing 30,000 barrels a day in Iraq and another 50,000 barrels a day in Syria. Using a median black market price for oil of $40 a barrel, that means it's bringing in $1.2 million a day from Iraq and another $2 million a day in Syria. Energy traders say this oil is being absorbed regionally in Jordan, Syria, and especially Turkey.
And then come private donors. A large number of rich and orthodox sheikhs are known to be firm believers in the ISIS. Rich families donate money to clerics who in turn are members of various militant outfits. Now that you have the money, you need the people. People to do the groundwork. Unlike an IT firm recruiting young graduates, these outfits take their screening process pretty seriously. But how do they generate interest in people's minds?
Are you my virgins?
They use an obscure system of messaging and large networks of hidden connections called Twitter. ISIS has an official Twitter account and also a working website. It also makes high-quality videos to lure people. Here, check this out.
Oh, my brothers, come to jihad and feel the honor we are feeling. Feel the happiness that we are feeling.
This new and very glossy recruitment video, which looks professionally shot and edited, was produced by ISIS in English. It's tailor-made to appeal to Americans and other Western jihadists. It features a 20-year-old British medical student who's traveled to Syria to wage jihad.
What prevents you from attaining martyrdom and the pleasure of your Lord? Look around you while you sit in comfort and ask yourself, is this how you want to die?
There was a time when Al-Qaeda was verified on Twitter, before the account was taken down. Prominent figures of these parties keep updating their status even from jail. These groups have a massive fan following on Facebook and Google+. We're not so sure about Google+.
Twitter has become a front line in the propaganda war ISIS is waging. Many fighters claiming to be British constantly tweet updates. urging like-minded Britons to join them in Iraq and Syria. One asks, how can you see pictures of babies blown to pieces with their brains all over the floor and then question us about why we come here? Another posts, families in the villages taken over by ISIS are slowly returning and settling in and are happy and relieved to see ISIS occupying. And then there's YouTube, where a steady stream of clips are posted. Like this video, purportedly showing ISIS supporters around the world standing in solidarity with a group so brutal, even Al-Qaeda has disowned them.
So money, check. Men, check. Now the guns. This is a very important aspect because this is where the United Nations can actually play an important role. Once arms are bought, they still have to be transported. They have to be shipped, they have to cross borders, and since the post office does not deal with gun transport, these outfits have a pretty hard time. Not only do ISIS have big guns, they also have anti-aircraft missiles and heavy artillery. While it is believed that the ISIS uses the guns left behind by the Iraqi army, it is a known fact that many tribesmen in these areas use top-of-the-line sophisticated guns which can only be provided by private companies. The same private companies which also associate with governments. Like every government, there is ample scope for corruption in their illegal arms trafficking committee. Nearly 40 kilograms of uranium was stored at the Iraqi ambassador's house. No wonder they tried to do Iran. This is where the UN must take action. Dear delegates, so far we have only had a look at how these organizations grow and work. But the fact is, many of these outfits are extremely violent. So violent, they make Canadian hockey look Canadian. They commit massive human rights violations daily, and it is time the world came together to tackle this issue head on.